Can I say here, please?
You bet. Sorry.
There you go.
Good morning, everyone. As we start out our beef show and swine show on that side, this is my third county fair and as many weeks as my fifth show of the year.
Sorry.
I enjoy judging thoroughly.
You need to scoot forward.
I know, she's just trying to stay out of everybody's way.
I know that we're all busy and we all have things that we should be doing probably, but we're here to support the youth. And we have to remember that all of these livestock are here to support the youth and to promote what these youth are capable of, the projects that they, the time and effort that they put in. So I'm glad to see the stands are full this morning, and this county's been one of the great ones as far as coming out and supporting these kids. Let's just remember that and continue to do that. As we go through showmanship, I might work classes longer, I might work classes shorter, I might pull one, I might pull three. We do have 3 heats of these senior showmen. These senior showmen have had the opportunity to have me before, and hopefully that's rubbed off on them. This class of 5 exhibitors has done a great job. They made it a little bit harder than I anticipated to pull the top ones out. I went ahead and walked them again. This show is also one of the ones that's exceptionally hard with pigs right there. If these cattle have never experienced pigs right there, the young man there in the last hole, as we walk around, is going to have the hardest time because the cattle are not going to want to stand with their backs to those pigs over there, and I don't blame them. Okay, so we're going to work through some of that as we go through. As the exhibitors get younger, that gets harder. Those steers will start to really want to move away, and we'll work through it. I'm calling that out because I recognize some of the challenges of this ring. This ring, exhibitors, if you guys are still here and listening, this ring is extremely slick. Okay, let's be aware of that and not end up with crippled cattle. Let's not fight them, and if we have to move them, we have to move them, okay? So just be aware of that, how slick this ring is. As we talk down through the exhibitors, this young lady here with this red steer comes in. This red steer, he's wanting to walk into place. I had a little conversation with all of them about one thing that I needed them to do different on our last set. This young lady wants to poke. If you don't need to use your show stick for anything but a scratching tool, that is the most ideal. If you can walk them into place and give me that profile look, that is going to win you ensure back to the championship drive. If we go ahead and step those cattle into place, poke less, scratch more is my theory, okay? She keeps her hand down in front. She's an exhibitor that likes to smile. If you want to smile, I'm good with it. If you don't want to smile, I'm good with it. Like that's not something that's going to get you either way. When we walk through that gate, we're conducting business though, and we're in for a job interview. She did that very well. She's had that same look. She's given me that consistent look of that steer. I like how she keeps her hand down on her halter. I do want you to poke less. Okay, you have room being the front exhibitor. You can go ahead and step them in. The young man here with the smoke steer, he gives me as consistent a look as any of the cattle out here as far as getting that steer profile. He steps him into place right like that. Maybe he's going to move his foot just, but he's giving me the same look. I had the conversation with him, and it's going to be a disadvantage here for the few next classes, but I need these cattle to come in here with their heads shaved, okay? We need to finish our project. Go ahead and bring him on this side right here, this side view. Put him right here in front. Look facing this way. He's one though that does as good a job as any of the exhibitors out here as far as giving me that consistent look. I told you not to cross over in front of that steer, but right now I do need you to step to his nose just a little bit. I want you to be out in front of him just a little bit more than you are. This exhibitor here next is one who wants to get his hand out on the chain just a little bit, wants to let that steer get just a little more out of line than I prefer. We had that conversation. He's doing a better job of circling and getting that steer back into place, giving me a real good look at that steer. Having this consistent look at these steers is going to benefit you for tomorrow and when I'm trying to evaluate the steers themselves. And that's why we said showmanship. So that's why it becomes that important. This exhibitor here with the steer, sorry, this exhibitor here, the steer that just fell down. That's one that you came in, you want to let him drag his head just a little bit, you want to get his head into you a little bit. His head's his steering wheel. Make sure that you keep control of that. His head should always stay straight in line with his spine, or slightly to me.
Problem is they're smart enough, they all know that's the way to get out.
Yeah. Make sure you're doing it now, but you at times want to slide your hand out on your lead just a little bit more than right now. I know you're not really sure what's going on, but you're not going to be the profile look like you were in line over here. Okay?
Yep, go ahead.
And then another gentleman over here that was kind of last in this line, when he's on this end, away from those pigs, that steer, he's giving me the best look of that steer that he can possibly give me, okay? We're profiled, that steer's heads up, he's one that's cleaned up, and I appreciate that. I appreciate this young man's eye contact as well. That steer is not wanting to have the pigs to his back for sure, and he didn't want us to set up in line that first time when we were on that side either. So he's one that's had to work just a little bit harder than some of the other exhibitors, and I'm not opposed to a person who has to work hard to get their steer to the best point, as long as their steer's working with them and not giving up on them, okay? So with that, this class gets fairly close to me, because there's something I can nitpick about every exhibitor, and every one of them has something they can work on to do better. Every one of them can step out ahead of the steer just a little bit more than they currently are, okay? So there's things with all of them that we're going to evaluate back in the champion drive for a couple of them. So with that, I'm going to have the young man in the black shirt come back and the young lady in the pink shirt come back for your champion drive.
Coming back from Class 1 Senior B Fitting and Showing is Levi Gearing and Rachel Sutton.
All right, good morning, everybody. This is our first class of senior swine showmen. Let's give them a big hand. They did a good job here. So I'm really happy to be here this morning to sort through these hogs and these kids. Showmanship is my favorite day. I love watching these kids kind of put together everything they've worked for all year long, and I appreciate everybody's hard work, and that includes parents and leaders and everybody who helps all of this. So give yourselves a big round of applause too. Good job for getting up here. Some things I'm looking for in a swine showman is someone who, number one, has control of their hog. If you don't have control of your hog in here, it's really hard for me to see that animal. It's really hard for the showman to keep that animal in front of me and to give me all views of that animal. Number two, the animal should be clean. And the kids should be clean, right? Well presented. That's not a problem in here. Everybody did a great job of preparing their animals and preparing themselves. From there are a few things I prefer. I prefer a more intense type showman. And if you could put that together with a high degree of control, that's on the money for me. So that being said, there are two individuals in here who did the best job of having control of their animal, particularly in a kind of chaotic ring. These hogs are a little excited this morning. They're having a little bit of a hard time adjusting to being in here with everybody else. So I really appreciate the amount of control these two individuals showed. So these two individuals will be my two callbacks from this class, and they're going to be numbers 150 and 132. Those young ladies had a lot of eye contact, which I really appreciate, and again, had the best degree of control out of anybody else in this ring. So good job to those two. Excited to see them a little bit later. Then we'll move down to our blue ribbon, so number 160. That young man did a good job, but just maybe wasn't quite as intense and maybe didn't have as much control as the two young ladies who I'm calling back. Number 114, same thing in here, doing a good job, had okay amount of eye control or eye contact, an okay amount of animal control, just needed a little more intensity, need to be a little more direct about driving that animal in front of me in this ring today. Number 233. That's my honorable mention. That young lady did a really good job of controlling her animal. Just got in a little bit of traffic today. Couldn't get that animal drove out of some of those congested areas. So just couldn't be in the callback. But overall, a really good showman who I think has a lot of potential. And if she can come back next year and have a little more direction, she's going to do really well. Number 222, again. Just couldn't get out of traffic, had some trouble driving that hog off the fence, so just needed a little more control. And sort of the same thing with number 227. All of those I talked about are blue ribbons. Now we'll get into our reds, number 257 and number 193.